Hey everybody, it's time for yet another smoke detector unboxing video. So of course you can see what it is by the title, but I have yet to see it. So, I've got to get my knife out, but I have it right here, so I'm going to try not to cut myself. I have yet to do that, but you never know. Okay, and this knife I've had for a few years now. It's getting pretty dull. Thankfully I have a few of these sort of hunting knives like this. Residue on there. Alright, so that should be good. Let's see, are you guys seeing this? Yep. Oh, that didn't do it. Gotta open the knife back up. Okay, there we go. Alright. Tissue paper on top. And here is the actual box of the unit. So this is the NuTone S-180-L smoke detection alarm. This is a new old stock alarm, and it looks like they saran wrapped the actual package. Oh boy. Okay. Alright, well that wasn't too bad. Get that out of the way. Okay, here we go. So, wow. Okay, it's actually a lot smaller than I thought it would be. I thought it would be like about the size of the whole package, honestly. Okay, so it is, here's the unit itself. You guys can see it. Side, other side, back one's a little dirty on that side. Wow. Okay, so this is the S-180-L. This one is the slightly later model. It's the rebranded ESL 709-2 as opposed to the S-180, which was the rebranded ESL 706, which is the slightly earlier model. And there are some differences, which I'll get into after I show you the inside of the unit. But here's the wiring harness it came with, never even been unwrapped. And the mounting hardware, the screws for mounting it to the electric box. So, put the box aside. It looks like there's no manual, unfortunately. So we won't get to see that. That's too bad. Huh, I wonder why that is. So it's new old stock, but new open box, because there's no manual. But we get at least we get the information on the front here. So, let me take the camera down. Alright, so actually let me get out that wiring harness here. I'm going to need that later when I power it up. So there's the reverse side, and the mounting bracket is on the back here, and this is essentially basically like a hardwired version of this one that you've seen in the past. This is the NuTone S-185, and this is the battery-powered model. Now, they actually did have hardwired models of this that were actually a rebrand of the ESL 906-2, which was the successor to the 709-2. However, we don't know what the NuTone model of those were, and they had several different variations of those. We have yet to find one actually, like, in the wild. Or, like, not in the wild, but, like, on eBay or, like, for sale somewhere other than, like, in a house installed. So, and like the battery-powered model, this one has the square cover on the round base. So, I'm going to go ahead and open up the unit. Now, I don't know how this cover comes off. I think it might snap off like that one, maybe. Maybe. How is that on? I don't want to break it. Hang on a second. Let's figure this out. didn't sound very good. Come on. Oh, I think I just ruined the filter. Oh dear. Ah, there we go. Okay. So, the inside. So, this one, unlike the S-180, the original S-180, does not have a transformer, which would be, I believe, on this side right here, on that one. There you can see it in the light there. This one also doesn't have an incandescent light bulb, which would be on this side here. It would go into the sensor, which is right here, the sensor chamber underneath of this piece. And that would shine into the sensor chamber, which would allow that would be the photoelectric, the sensor beam. This one, instead of containing a transformer and an LED, it has a step-down, either a capacitor or a resistor somewhere in there, ceramic resistor, I think. And it has an LED that works as the light beam, which would shine. It's a red LED that shines up through that indicator lens right there. Now, the design of that is very similar, I believe, to that of the Gillette Captain Kelly, the 941 right here, which, as you can see, it doesn't have it. I don't believe it has a transformer, actually. I don't know about that. Actually, no, it doesn't, because it has the 60 hertz buzzer, and it has a red LED that presumably also works as the indicator. So I think that these are, because these are rebranded ESL model 206s. So these are pretty much, I'm pretty sure that these came probably a slight bit later than these did, because these are sealed, the 206. But this top portion here can come off for cleaning. I think it just snaps right off. Yeah, it looks like it, but I won't take it off because there's a filter in there, a little screen filter, or like a foam filter, and there are also filters on the side here that I accidentally touched when I was trying to get it off the box, or get it out of the box, or get the cover off, sorry. The other one right there, that's the one that I hit, I think. And they are very, 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 very delicate. They will disintegrate if you touch them, so I'm not going to mess with those. There's a provision right there for the heat sensor, which is, some of these models did have heat sensors, and I believe that hole right there in the label is where the heat sensor would poke through. The horn in this one is actually a Douglas-Randall horn, as you can see, which is the same horn that Earli-Gard Square D used in the Earli-Gard model, the EGD-4S. And I think a few other companies use these as well. I mean, other than ESL and Earli-Gard. So here's the inside of the cover, the label, which you can see. Electrical ratings, trouble checklist. So this, I guess, is in lieu of the manual. We get this. The manufacturer date on there is February of 1977. I have to check the date on Nathaniel's, because his might be, I mean, the date on his S-180 is obviously got to be earlier, but he also has an S-181, which is the model that's also featured in here. I don't know what the difference between these and that is. So, the mounting bracket comes off by these two tabs right here, which you squeeze, and it just removes the bracket. Hopefully I can get it out. Maybe. Ah, there we go. I think. Yep, there we go. Okay, so the bracket, just those tabs, you squeeze them, the bracket comes off, and you can mount it to any back box on the ceiling or the wall. And it looks like on the back we've got more information, covered by one or more U.S. patent numbers, made in USA. That's a manufacturer code or something like that. Screw that holds the horn onto the base. And then right here you've got a test lever. That is normal, and then I believe that is test mode. So, yeah, the inside is identical to the ESL 709, which, I mean, of course, these are rebranded ESL 709s. They use different horns, though. Some used delta alarms, some used Edwards, I believe. Obviously, some use Douglas-Randall. So I'm going to get the cover back on, and then I'm going to get it powered up for you guys. Alright, I've got it wired up. Red and white, or not red and white, black and white. Sorry, 2IQ moment there. The yellow is for interconnect. It's got a crimp cap on it, and then the green is ground, and we don't use that because this is a two-wire cord. So, fingers crossed that it works, because these are known for failing over time, even if they're not powered for some reason. So let's go ahead and plug it in and hope nothing bad happens. Alright, 3, 2, 1. Oh, the light's on. That's a good sign. That's a really good sign. So the red LED is glowing. It's not falsing. So let's go for a test, shall we? Let's push the test lever up. And if I remember correctly from Jacob Larson's video on the 709, you have to push it up a certain way until it sounds. So we'll try that. Well, how about that, folks? It works. And it's pretty damn loud, too. That is... wow. So it sounds very similar to the Gillette, the Captain Kelly 941. I'm not going to test this one because this one takes forever to go off, but you've heard this one in my other videos. This one may actually have a Douglas-Randall horn, too. If you look very closely, it looks like it has the same sort of rivet and washer design. Yeah, I like the sound of it. Let's test it once more. I'll show you the test lever in action here. Very loud. Will definitely wake you up in a fire. The red light. Once more. See if I can show it to you in the dark here. Yeah, there you go. It's a cool looking glow, actually. And that's definitely the light from the that serves as the photo beam itself. So once more, the front. Now this one does have a cover interlock switch that silences the alarm when you open the cover, just like on a Honeywell, because it says to silence, pull, and remove cover. System on when lit, the NuTone-Scovill logo in chrome with this nice chrome outline. I always love this smoke detection alarm. They don't call it a smoke detector or a smoke alarm. And then the front is textured, very similar to the Sears units, the center of those, where they're textured like that. Alright. Give it one more test. I just love the sound of this. Alright. So, oh yeah, the one thing I wanted to do. I also, you may remember I filmed this recently, this old detector here, which is a NuTone rebranded Gentex model, and I was curious to see if this one would be bigger than this one, if this one would be bigger than this one. Because I have seen one of these in person. Actually, not one of these. I've seen an S-180, the older version with the transformer and the incandescent bulb. I've seen one of those in person in Pennsylvania when I worked at that camp a few years ago for over the summer. We went to a town that had a little shop in it. Where they had several shops. We went to this one, it was like an ice cream place, I think, and they had one of these like over the register. It wasn't powered, or it was one of the S-180s over the register. It wasn't powered. Obviously the light was probably dead. But it looked huge from my memory, just on that ceiling. I don't know what it was. I just remember it being so much bigger than it actually is. And it looks to me like the Gentex one is ever so slightly, it's just ever so slightly wider, bigger in area, like, yeah. But the ESL one is definitely taller. So, I mean, it's just a little bit taller, I think. I mean, it doesn't help that it has the wiring harness connected right now, but it is, as you can see. Of course, this one doesn't have the actual, I don't know, I don't think this one's complete. It might have another cover that goes over this one. Anyway, yeah, that's about it for this video, I think. that is the unboxing and test of the NuTone S-180-L. So let's do one more test. Alright, thank you for watching, and more to come.